Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHONJ Teresa Giudice rings in 2025 as Atrocious bride. RHONJ star, Teresa Giudice rang in 2025 as an atrocious bride. The mother of four and podcaster made a splash in the ensemble she chose to ring in the new year. Unfortunately, it did not land the way that she had hoped it would, and fans were calling her and her stylist out. Keep reading for more on what they had to say. When Teresa Giudice got married to Luis Ruiz in August 2022, there was a lot of chatter. It was not just who she was marrying, a man giving off a bunch of red flags, but her look was interesting. From head to toe, Teresa was over the top with her bridal style. Her hair cost $10K with $7K worth of extensions. She also needed over 1,500 bobby pins to keep the look in place. After, she was mocked by celebs and talk show hosts for her wedding style. It was used as a Halloween costume by many that year, but Teresa did her best to take it in stride. That was likely her most absurd look since. Yet, she stood by it and made no apologies for feeling like a princess on her big day. It had been tainted in some ways by tension between herself and her brother and sister-in-law, Joe and Melissa Gorga. They had been struggling for some time, and right before the wedding, they opted not to attend. Now, Teresa is breaking out the bridal chic once again, this time to ring in 2025. She showed off her white party dress, which came from a bridal boutique. It was one of their wedding dresses which she wore as a regular celebratory ensemble. However, her fans and followers saw it on Instagram and immediately had words for Teresa Giudice: "What an atrocious outfit. Whoever picks out her clothes needs to be fired. Does she really think that's a fantastic look?" She looked very confident as she prepared to step out so clearly. She did think she looked incredible. Some RHONJ fans wondered if Teresa Giudice owned a mirror. More so, they wanted to know if she actually used it when she got dressed or before she left the house. OMG, don't you have a mirror at your place? This looks like my 7-year-old confirmation dress. Her low intelligence showed when she dressed in this. Others called her tacky, but Teresa will usually use her podcast to clap back when she feels offended. As of now, it is unclear if she and her family will be welcomed back to RHONJ for season 15. No decisions have been made, and Andy Cohen reiterated that. What did you think of Teresa's bridal outfit, and was it a tad tacky? More so, do you want her back on RHONJ? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. RHONJ, Teresa Giudice rings in 2025 as atrocious bride. The Real Housewives of New Jersey RHONJ has always served up drama, but in 2025, Teresa Giudice seems determined to take the spotlight in ways no one could have predicted. In a move that shocked fans and sent shockwaves through the reality TV community, Teresa, known for her fiery personality, stunning looks, and tempestuous relationships, decided to ring in the new year as a bride once again. However, this wedding wasn't the picture-perfect fairytale many imagined. In fact, some have called it downright atrocious. From the moment the announcement was made, fans couldn't help but buzz with anticipation. After all, Teresa's past relationship history had been tumultuous: her infamous divorce from Joe Giudice, her whirlwind romance with Luis Ruiz, and the constant ups and downs that always seemed to play out on RHONJ. But Teresa's latest marriage was shaping up to be more than just a love story, it was a spectacle. Was it the love story of the century, or was it an over-the-top disaster destined for disaster? As always, RHONJ delivered a series of jaw-dropping moments. A wedding like no other. Teresa's wedding was billed as the most extravagant event of the year, an opulent affair that would rival the grandest royal weddings. Teresa had spared no expense. Every detail, from the flowers to the dress to the guest list, seemed to be perfectly orchestrated. But the more the event unfolded, the more apparent it became that something was off. First, the drama surrounding the dress started to leak through the tabloids. Teresa, known for her bold and sometimes controversial fashion choices, had selected a gown that, according to many, seemed more suited for a nightclub than a wedding chapel. The gown, a controversial design by a high-fashion designer, featured metallic embellishments and cutouts that left many scratching their heads. The media went wild, calling it everything from a circus tent to a costume. As the day of the wedding arrived, Teresa's ensemble continued to raise eyebrows. While some hailed her boldness and her unapologetic embrace of high-fashion trends, others criticized the choice, describing it as atrocious. Critics pointed to the gown's garish metallic sheen, which seemed to reflect light in an almost blinding manner, creating an unsettling visual effect. Some even compared her wedding look to the gaudy aesthetics of a reality TV star's dream come true, but lacking the elegance that usually accompanies a ceremony of such significance. The drama unfolds. While Teresa's wedding dress was causing a frenzy, the drama didn't stop there. As with any RHONJ event, the drama extended well beyond the bride herself. Family members, exes, and even a few surprise guests showed up to the event, sparking arguments that would have felt at home in a soap opera. Teresa's sisters-in-law, Melissa and Joe Gorga, had a particularly tense relationship with Teresa, and their animosity was palpable. The first hints of discord emerged when Melissa, visibly uncomfortable, was caught making side-eye glances at Teresa's wedding decorations. The awkward tension between the two family members was almost impossible to ignore, and it seemed like only a matter of time before the two would clash. Sure enough, during the reception, tempers flared in a dramatic scene that could only have been scripted for reality TV. Teresa, never one to back down from confrontation, was caught in the middle of a screaming match between her brother, Joe, and Melissa. Their loud exchange echoed throughout the venue, putting a serious damper on what was meant to be a celebration of love and unity. Guests watched in disbelief as Teresa, who had already gone through years of public drama, seemed to be relishing in the chaos, egging it on as though it were part of the show. But the tension didn't stop there. Rumors spread like wildfire that Teresa's ex-husband, Joe Giudice, was on the verge of crashing the wedding. After all, his relationship with Teresa had been one of the most infamous storylines on RHONJ, and fans were curious to see if he would make an appearance. As the evening wore on, Teresa's mood seemed to shift between happiness and agitation, and it became clear that things were not going as smoothly as planned. The atrocious bride. By the time the wedding reception reached its peak, it was clear that Teresa's big day had not gone off without a hitch. In fact, the event became a chaotic display of missteps, shocking moments, and unscripted drama. Social media exploded with memes and critiques of Teresa's wedding, with many users labeling the entire day as atrocious. Some viewers claimed that Teresa, despite all the glitz and glamour, appeared to be more focused on stirring the pot than celebrating her new union. The atrocious label was tossed around not just because of Teresa's outlandish gown but also because of her attitude. While Teresa had always prided herself on her unapologetic behavior, on this day, she was accused of overshadowing the most important part of the celebration: her relationship with Luis Ruiz. Instead of basking in the glow of her new marriage, she seemed to be relishing the drama unfolding around her. For many, this was a wedding that resembled a staged TV special more than an intimate moment between two people in love. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors surfaced that Teresa had been more focused on the reality TV aspect of the event than on the actual ceremony. Sources claimed that Teresa had been rehearsing scenes with her bridal party and orchestrating the drama to ensure maximum screen time for RHONJ. Was Teresa more interested in keeping the show running smoothly than in her own vows? The question was raised by many who viewed her wedding not as a heartwarming occasion but as yet another opportunity for reality TV stardom. The aftermath. The fallout from Teresa's atrocious wedding was swift. In the days following, social media exploded with commentary, memes, and behind-the-scenes leaks. Fans and critics alike took to their platforms to discuss the disastrous wedding, and many began questioning whether Teresa had taken things too far. For her, the controversy might have been a price worth paying for the attention. RHONJ fans knew all too well that Teresa thrived on drama, and her big day seemed to be a perfect example of her penchant for turning every moment into a spectacle. As the dust settled, the story of Teresa's wedding in 2025 would go down as one of the most memorable if not the most atrocious affairs in RHONJ history. For Teresa, the wedding day may have been filled with flaws, but it was undeniably unforgettable. Whether it was a public relations nightmare or a stroke of genius to keep the RHONJ audience on the edge of their seats remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Teresa Giudice's 2025 wedding was nothing if not unforgettable and, in true RHONJ fashion, it was far from boring.